Hi. I always do that. I'm always like not talking because I'm at home by myself, and then when I go to record, I like forget to clear my throat. So I just that happens. But we'll try that again. Hi. I'm just kidding. That was ridiculous. But hey, for the third time. So day 8 would be the day 1 of week 2 of the 250K Transformation Challenge 2018 by bodybuilding.com. I think I have said that thing in all the different ways it could be said. It probably can still be said in more different ways. So day 8, I had a compound lifting session, and it went like super awesome. I should really include like a clip because I went in and it was a bench day. I was so happy about that. I was like, please don't be a deadlift day, please don't be a squat day, just bench. And it was, because I mean the days repeat, but you just forget. You're like, what day is today? I mean, it's day 2, but what does that mean for me? And since I haven't explained the program, it still makes no sense. So I'm gonna have to make a reminder for tomorrow, record about your training program, so people watching and following along know what you're doing. So I'm gonna need to set a reminder for that. We'll try that now. Set a reminder to film the training program with Matt tomorrow. Yes.
Okay.
Yay!
Reminder saved.
So, hopefully I get to that. I have a reminder though, so you saw me do it. So it was a bench day, but I started out with squatting. And it was really nice. So I went squat, regular bench, incline bench, and overhead press. So it was a bench day, it was an upper body day. But my squats, since I've been working really hard on them, if you follow me on Instagram, you've probably seen me post a ton of times about how I hate my squats, I'm getting over them. My form was absolutely horrible. I went up in weight too fast, and so my form went down. So I actually do kind of say, like, when people are starting to work out, I'm like, work on form first so you don't get to these really awesome numbers that you think are awesome, and that if you compare them to other people, you're actually doing really well, and then bottom out because your form's shit. My bad. I'm very passionate. And so you have to drop all your weight numbers, fix your form, and work it back up. I'm starting to get it back. My stance is like super close. It is shoulder width apart because of how my morphology is. Morphology? I didn't think I used that word correctly, but how my body is. Narrow stance works perfect. It's narrow stance, high bar, works perfect for me now. I was lifting 145, 3x4, and they were just going up and down. Like, it was flying. Like, I was like, can I just maybe do 5 sets total? Like, but it's a training program, so you can't really go off your program too much, or you can ruin something the next day or later down the line. So I just really gave it my all, because I was working off percentages, and I know yesterday I talked about RPE, but I was working off percentages. So when you're working off percentages, you just do the lifts, you do the reps, you do the sets. So I just gave it everything. I would say the best part was not only how fast my squats were flying, but how fast my bench press was going. Because, segue, I've had an injury on my left arm. I think it was my left. Was it my right? It was my left arm because I hurt this one when I was in high school. So almost 10 years to the day, 10 years to the month, I should say. I screwed this arm up in August of my senior year in high school, so that would be 2005, and 11 years to the day, I think, actually. Anyway, after a decade, I hurt this arm. This one was silly, though. When I hurt this one, it was because I was running into volleyball practice, and someone had left their skates, Kelsey, on the floor, and they were black and the floor was black, so I tripped over them, and I went to catch myself, and I caught myself on this arm, and it went boop. Well, not with the shoulder part, just the elbow went hyperextended it. Thought I had broken it. Absolutely gross. I had a bruise from here to like the middle of my palm, and I didn't even know your palms can get bruised. It's weird. But I've had an injury. I was out for 3 months because of it. So what happened was my bonus son and I were having a cartwheel off because he was in gymnastics. I used to be in gymnastics when I was a cheerleader and all that great stuff. So we were doing a cartwheel competition, and we were just seeing how many we could do in a row. And on the second to last one, I heard this elbow kind of like, and then I like stood up, and then I went again. And when I was throwing my legs over, I felt it give out. And I stood back up, and I was just kind of like, ow, that hurts. So I just kind of like held it up here for the rest of the night, and it got worse and worse. I couldn't really sleep. We were sleeping on an air mattress, so that made it way worse. And it was horrible. What ended up happening was I almost totally ripped my muscle away from the bone and elbow that night. So that was my muscle loosening up. So it was basically, I had bruises all the way up here, but what had happened was where the majority of it was like right in this area, because this is where, like, if you twist too much, it's where kind of everything can and rip off. So what I had done was I had basically this area in here had gotten pulled really badly, like super badly, so much so that I was bruising on the outside within 24 hours. And so luckily it really wasn't my elbow, but because this muscle was stiff, like everything else was the same way. So I spent 1 full month in a brace around my wrist, because if I moved my wrist some, it would hurt, because any twisting motion hurt. So it was a solid wrist brace to keep me from moving my wrist, any sort of way, up, down, circular, and then a sling that I wore all the time. That's actually all on Instagram still, like back in 2015 or 16. I can't really remember right now. But yeah, it was not cool. So, and I had started to do really well with my bench press, because that was always my weakest one. And yeah, so I wasn't able to do anything that required this motion, which was everything. So leg day every day. So after 1 month of being in the sling, I was then able to transition of not having to wear the sling all the time, only if like I felt like I was getting really tired, or if I started holding my arm up more, because when my elbow would get kind of stiff, I would just have to keep it stable. So then it became like on a needs basis when I would wear the sling, but I was still wearing the wrist guard, and then another month of the wrist guard. And then I went 1 month with wrist wraps, working out, and an ACE bandage for support, and then another month with just the wrist wraps when I was working out. So 4 months in total to just get back to normal. And I lost a lot of upper body strength, especially in my overhead and my bench press, and I just haven't been able to get it back since. We don't really know what was going on. I think a lot of it became mental too. Like I didn't want to have to put a lot of weight over my head because I was afraid that this might give out. So yeah, that was my injury. This turned out into just a story time with Samantha. But that was my injury. That's why I always talk about it. I'm not trying to use it as like an excuse as to why my bench press is crap, because my bench press was crap beforehand. But my numbers don't really add up, so that's why. So Matt just got home. Time to go work out.